So, Jacob,
Yes.
let's talk about the 338 Lapua Magnum. It dates back to what year?
1982.
That was a good year. That was the year I graduated from high school.
Well, it's about time. 4 years too late.
No, it wasn't. I was only 13.
Yeah.
But anyways, no, I was 17. But anyways, let's hear about it. Now, folks, this is Jacob's done the research. He's going to tell you the story of the 338 Lapua.
That's right.
Go for it, Jacob.
I'm going to tell you a story.
Everybody gather around.
Everybody gather around to Gun Reading Rainbow.
There you
All right, so in 1982, the American company called the Research Armament Industries. They were from Rogers, Arkansas. They were asked to develop a long-range rifle for sniper applications from the Marine Corps. And what it was originally intended for was a 1,000-yard rifle, but then they quickly evolved it into a 1,500-meter rifle.
Wow. Long-distance shooting, that's for sure.
Long distance.
All right.
The Marines wanted it for. The rifle had to match certain qualifications, as always. There were certain tests that they had to prove for. And it would be a significant rifle because this was the first time that a rifle was created solely for the purpose of a target rifle in the military. All previous rifles had been converted hunting rifles or standard military rifles that they put a scope on the top of.
Right.
Such as the M1A, and of the sorts like that.
O3, A3s, all that.
Now, the designer of this rifle at Research Armament Industries, his name was Bob Haskins. And his rifle was called the Haskins 300, and it was in 300 Winchester Magnum. And it was also available in 308. But he also created one called the Haskins 500, which was available in 50 BMG. Now, throughout all the tests, the Haskins 300 and 300 Winchester Magnum, it still did not meet the requirements that the Marines were looking for. It just did not have, they said it did not have the correct
ballistics.
The ballistics, and it did not have
trajectory.
No.
What?
No, it did not meet the correct criteria for penetration of the round at that distance.
Ah, makes sense.
It could hit the target at that distance.
Right, but it wasn't causing enough terminal damage.
Right.
All right. I bet you they didn't find it with the 50 BMG.
Well, so they wanted to create a new caliber that could possibly do this.
Okay.
And really, this whole story it's kind of a, I don't know if you'd call it a negative story, because in the end, they created this whole new caliber where they wildcatted the 378 Weatherby Magnum, and they necked it down to 338, and it just completely failed in government tests. It wouldn't feed right because of the belted case of the Weatherby. The neck was too great for any strength in the brass. They kept having problems, so they pulled the pin on that one.
All right.
So this is where they picked the 416 Rigby, which is just a massive safari
straight-walled cartridge, almost on the side.
Almost
it's
there. It's just a large.
I mean, it's tapered, but it's not a rimmed. It's not a.
It's not belted.
Not a belted Magnum.
So they necked the 416 Rigby down to fit a 338 caliber bullet. Became the 338 416, and they had Hornady make a custom 250 grain hollow point boat tail bullet. Custom, and Hornady had never made that bullet before.
Okay.
They had it made specifically for this.
That's the cool thing about Hornady. They're always leading the way on this stuff, so that's great.
Yes, but even with that bullet, it still did not meet the requirements of the Marines and the military, and the bullet manufacturer had to change. This is where Lapua came in, is where the government actually, at the time, was dealing with Lapua to make custom bullets. And if they would have known our friend Derek, I'm sure this could have been made back then from him.
That's right.
So, from Liberty Ammo. So, the government brought in Lapua in 1984, and they developed a custom full metal jacket 338 caliber bullet. And they did. And in 1986, the 338 416 won the 1,000-yard Navy rifle competition at Quantico, Virginia. But here's kind of the sad thing. Through all of this, and this is kind of the way our government spends money. It's now we're up to, was it 6 years later? well, 2 years later, the Army decides, you know what, we're just going to stick with a 50 caliber instead. We have all the ammo. We're not going to do anything with another cartridge.
And Ronnie Barrett was putting out a heck of a gun at that time, too.
And that makes the difference, too.
Yeah.
So they stuck with the 50 caliber as a standard sniper round. And basically what this did was the RAI company that created originally folded. Some of the other stuff was purchased by Ivor Johnson for making these rifles, and it kind of folded from there as well, because Ivor Johnson's now just a fraction of the company that it was at one time. So what happened was they shipped the round back to Lapua in Finland, and it kind of stayed there for the next couple of years. And that's when the heads of Lapua said, wait a second, we've got a gold mine here. Let's do something to make this round actually work great. So what they did was they shortened the 416 Rigby case by 2 millimeters, created a whole new neck on it, and actually cast and built their own new brass based on this with a thicker wall to handle the extreme pressures of this new cartridge.
And people often ask, why is this ammo so expensive? It's because it is certainly proprietary brass.
Yes.
Extra strong case. You buy anything from the factory, it's annealed around in other words, it's been heated up around the end of the brass to strengthen the brass for this exact purpose, because it is a massive round. It's not one you're going to go out and, harvest does with, with a cull permit. So it is massive. So the current round of this.
Yeah, the current round. So that established the 338 Lapua Magnum, and it created it as actually a Finnish cartridge.
Yes, Finnish as in Finland.
Yep. So it is technically from Finland, but it was originally developed here, and then it was kind of critiqued and masterminded in Finland.
We've got some friends that shoot these on a regular basis, and they are completely hooked. It's like some people go, I can't wait to go shoot my 22. Or I can't wait to go out and shoot around a skeet. They're like, no, we want to shoot 1,000 yards with my Lapua, because it's exciting to do that, and it is a good sport. That's long-range shooting is certainly brings in everything. Wind, humidity, your blood pressure, what you eat for lunch. If you're uncomfortable shooting this gun, you're not going to do what it needs to do. But if you get your ducks in a row, the current round that they're producing is a 300 grain Sierra Match King. So Sierra Match King bullets, we shoot them out of the 308s and 30-06s all the time. Excellent bullets, just flat out excellent. They're designed to do exactly what they have to. 2,710 feet per second. That's smoking hot for that 300 grain bullet. That's amazing.
And it hits with 4,892 foot-pounds of energy.
That's I can see why it works. So, and you can see why I came home from Williams last week and said, they got 2 Lapuas in the used rack. You just don't see that very often. No. So most people buy them and they keep them. But they've got several new and several used to look at now, so or at least one used to look at. And Jake, you wrote down they stole it from us. That the Finns,
the Finnish people stole the round.
I mean,
it's okay. We have enough for our name.
Jake, you and I think about this all the time. We're always looking at shells.
They have reindeer. We have moose. They have moose too, probably.
We are always looking at shells and cartridges and bullets and trying to decide how to make different guns, and that's called wildcatting, and that's been going on for 100 years.
Yep.
And taking a brass and modifying it in some way to fit a bullet that you want to. It's like Rock Island Armory has came out with their 22 TCM.
Yeah.
Now that is a 9mm neck down to 22 that shoots a 22 bullet at 2,400 feet per second. It's out of a pistol. You know what I mean? So there's so many things coming out in development. This 338 Lapua is awesome, and there's probably better things coming, but I think they've about optimized that one. Well, we got to go to commercial break. This is the Gunsmith Show. If you'd like to call us here in the studio, our number is 810-743-8255 or toll free
1-866-533-1530.
Maybe if you have a 338 Lapua story you'd like to share with us, feel free to give us a call right after this commercial break. So hang on tight. We'll be right back.
Let's talk about a private matter, insuring your guns. Do you know that your home insurance has limitations when it comes to insuring guns? To get the most out of a policy, you need to schedule your guns and collectibles. Zach Goodhart is the Farm Bureau insurance agent who understands guns and how to insure them properly. Zach is an avid sportsman that respects the value of your gun collection and will work with you to make sure you are covered. Contact Zach Goodhart from Farm Bureau at 810-391-2455. Zach is a board member of the local Safari Club International, a member of Pheasant Forever, and the NRA. Call Zach Goodhart today to protect your way of life at 810-391-2455.
Attorney Tim Cassidy defends responsible gun owners. Do you need help with your CPL-related issues or have legal questions related to your gun rights? Attorney Tim Cassidy has over 15 years on the Genesee County Gun Board and many more years in practice. He can help you. Attorney Cassidy is also the professional who provides training to local groups and organizations on legal issues related to firearms and the use of force in self-defense. If you need an attorney who believes in the Second Amendment, you need Attorney Tim Cassidy at 810-569-5441. That's 810-569-5441 for responsible gun ownership legal help.
Who's watching your home? Who's watching your business? Pal Burglar Alarm can watch them for you. They have over 30 years' experience protecting homes and businesses in mid-Michigan. Pal Burglar Alarm provides 24-hour monitoring service through their UL-listed monitoring center based right here in Michigan. They also offer armed guard services and no long-term contracts. Besides burglary protection, they can also monitor for flooding, sump pump failure, CO2 detection, temperature sensors to prevent pipes from freezing, panic, fire, and driveway alarms. PAL Burglar Alarm, a price you can live with. Call them today at 810-908-8298. That's 810-908-8298 or palalarm.com.
And now back to the Gunsmith Show with John and Jake Smith.
If you'd like to talk to John or Jake, call now, 810-743-8255.
All right, I'm going to ask you a question.
Uh-oh.
Do you have an alarm on your home? You should have. If you've got guns, you should have your house alarmed. Have it alarmed properly. Get a hold of PAL Alarm, our good friends at PAL Alarm. Listen to our commercials, and you'll hear the phone number for PAL Alarm, or look them up online. Great folks. They will take care of you. I just met some customers this week. I went to their house and met them, proudly putting their PAL Alarm stickers on their house. Why? Because they listen to our shows, and they know that PAL Alarm will look out for them like they do for us.
That's right.
Great company. Be glad you got them. And insure those guns. Get a hold of Zach Goodhart at the Goodhart Lemieux Agency and make sure that your guns are properly insured. Have them line itemed and listed out so that you have exactly the coverage you need for the guns you have.
Yep.
Protect yourself, protect your family at all times. All right, welcome back. This is the Gunsmith Show, and we're talking about some pretty cool guns. We're talking about the 338 Lapua today. So,
boom.
Yeah, big boom. Some of the first manufactured rifles that chambered in 338 Lapua were actually Mausers.
That's right.
Tell us about that, Jake.
Well, Lapua came to Mauser and said, hey, we've got this cartridge. Can you do some rifles in it? We want to see how well this will work. And Mauser at the time had a rifle that was chambered in some of these larger European, African cartridges.
Oh, sure, the 9.3s and all that kind of stuff.
Right,
big
right,
guns,
that this
big
would
guns.
fit in.
Yes.
And it was originally fitted into with a Mauser rifle. But in 1988, Lapua actually started to work with Seiko to create some of the best barrels possible, and they performed all the tests to see what barrels are needed in a round of this type, of this caliber.
Yeah. Well,
and
there's a reason for it, because they need a special barrel because it's such a hot round.
Right. And the test that they found out is actually still what they use to create these barrels today. There's been no
upgrades.
There's been no upgrades. They said there's no reason to. It's at its maximum optimum performance right now. The 338 barrel does not have to be short, and in fact, it's recommended that the barrel is at least 26 inches long.
Yeah.
At least. They said that it just needs to be, because of the amount of powder that has to burn in this large of a cartridge. Anything less, you're just wasting powder, and you're not going to get the performance that's needed.
Now, just so everybody understands that. Now, when you're shooting a rifle and you see that big ball of flame out the end of the barrel, that's unburnt powder that is exploding outside the barrel. So with the right length barrel, you don't get the huge muzzle flash because that explosion has happened in the barrel. You'll still get a good puff.
That's what makes me think these 500 Magnums and 460s would be great in a rifle
cartridge.
That amount of flame, that cannonball of flame that explodes out the end of a handgun.
Right. That
it's like I should be paying half the price for that ammo because we're only using half the powder.
Well, remember this: when the bullets leaving the barrel and that big explosion happens, with that longer barrel, you're going to build up more pressure. So your gun has to be stronger. You're going to build up more pressure, and your bullet's going to go faster. There's a point at which you don't gain anything. So if that's why they've made barrels that are 48 inches long.
Yeah.
But there's too much friction, and the bullet melts going out the barrel.
Yeah.
So this bullet is designed properly to work with a minimum 26-inch barrel, which I think is very important. And now a lot of your Weatherbees, all your early Weatherbees were all 26-inch barreled rifles.
Yep.
So smart thinking.
Now, after Seiko did that with the barrel tests, they came to Accuracy International in Britain, which still today makes some of the finest, I'll call them sniper rifles around.
Oh, yeah.
Accuracy International,
and
they
always win. They're winning competitions all the time.
Then they were actually the first to what we would call mass-produce this rifle, but they deemed it as the 338 Lapua Super Magnum.
Why not?
Super Magnum.
Why not?
So, and since that time, it's been made by basically every long-range manufacturer of rifles out there, from HS Precision to, to Macmillan. All these companies.
HS Precision. I remember holding one of those guns. I was at a gun show, and the guy had an HS Precision. I think it was in 300 Win Mag, and it was like 14 pounds. It was just an amazing, huge gun. And the guy had a price sticker like $7,000 on it. And he let me pick it up and look at it. It was pretty amazing.
Wipe the drool off.
Yeah. I had to put a bib on while I picked it up.
Well, what we did now is that we created a list of everyone we could find that currently produces one of these in not a HS Precision company or Macmillan where it's a custom order, but ones that are on the shelf ready to go.
Yeah, ones you can actually find.
Yes.
They're not just collector's items. Let's start with the Armalite.
Yes.
Armalite, which is an amazing company, they've created the AR-30A1.
Yes.
This thing has got a massive tank brake on the barrel. It's the one that really lets the gases go off to the side, similar to like a
Barrett.
Like a Barrett. It is available in 338 Lapua.
And this is a bolt action.
Yes. Beautiful gun, though. And, Armalites are kind of cool. They always have a tactical look to them. This is certainly a tactical rifle.
Yeah.
And I think it's available in different colors, too. I think it's available in tan and everything. But this one goes for $3,599.
Yep.
So slightly, just...
If you're going to pay...
might be better investing in this. That way you don't, if you're investing that kind of money, it's probably going to go up in value.
If you're going to pay $4 around to shoot it, you're not going to be afraid to spend $3,600 on the rifle.
Yep.
It's like a car. You don't buy a Lamborghini, then complain because gas is $3.45 a gallon.
You're right.
All right.
Now, this thing does.
Unless you're Kevin.
Kevin, who pushes our buttons. This does have the adjustable stock and everything. Amazing gun. $3,599.
All right. Well, now let's go to Savage.
This is one you're going to see on the shelf a lot more often.
And they have 3 models of it. The first is the 110BA. This is just looks a lot like the Armalite. Just a very large,
beautiful rifle. There's actually
tactical.
one on display, hung up centered right behind the scopes at Williams right now.
Is it really?
Beautiful gun.
Well, with the large muzzle brake, everything. MSRP on this one is $2,561.
Yes.
Now, the Model 10110 has the heavy barrel, the HS Precision stock.
Yep.
So this has the large, heavy stock, very like a bench rest stock. MSRP on this one is $1,677.
And that, I think, is what is...
That is what is at Williams.
Yeah, it's in the used gun site right now, just about almost the exact same gun.
Now, the Model 11111 is their long-range hunter.
All right.
So if you really want to hit that antelope at 4,000 feet...
Yeah.
Good luck. Because I won't try it. So, but this one has... It's no muzzle brake. Looks like a standard hunting rifle. But it does have that adjustable comb on the stock.
Yes.
You can crank it up to make your cheek higher and try not to break a shoulder.
Yeah.
MSRP on this one is $1,340.
Now, honestly, just to go on that last thing you just said to me, Our friend Cliff, that shoots his 338 all the time, says it doesn't kick because the gun is so big and the muzzle brake works so good. It doesn't kick hardly at all. He says it's no different than shooting a 30-06. So if his nose is growing when he's telling me that story, we'll find out soon because we're going to go out and shoot him.
Well, here's a question, though.
Yes.
Even with a 30-06, you can't shoot that thing all day long.
Well, with the right shoulder pad and stuff, you can, but they can
Different,
be punishing.
you know, M1 Grand, it weighs a lot, and that thing, the recoil is completely different.
Right.
But if you're
talking a bolt action rifle,
you know, you take a standard Remington 700 and 30-06 and shoot it 40 times.
Yeah, you're going to feel it.
You're going to feel it.
You're going to feel it. Yeah. Especially with good hot loads, and these are all hot loads. They don't sell any plinking rounds.
Yeah,
I'm
338 looking for something with a little bit lighter umph.
Yeah, do you have them in a pink box?
Yeah.
So,
well, here's a couple that Remington offer.
This is pretty cool too. I like this one.
Remington offers the MSR. This is a cool looking rifle.
Yep.
It's military service rifle. It was on the Remington's military website, so it's not something that you guys can just walk out and buy. Has a suppressor, 10-round mag, fully huge, just a night vision package scope on it. Just is an awesome rifle. There's not even a price.
I'm glad Remington's putting this in. It's probably a $20,000 rifle.
Oh, probably.
Yep, probably
at least. Well, the government's paying for it. It's probably $35.
Now, let's talk about the Seiko.
Well, hang on.
Sacco,
the Remington weighs 13 pounds.
Yes, it does.
But the Sacco.
Sacco has put these guns out, and it's called the TRG.
Yes.
This thing has got, and every time you see it in one of the tactical magazines, it says the ultimate sniper rifle. It probably darn near is. This is quite a rifle.
Yeah.
It has every adjustable thing you can do to the stock.
Yep.
Now, the 338 Lapua with the muzzle brake on a bipod, they say you can stay on target when you pull the trigger.
Probably.
Because it's such a good heavy gun. So that's an awesome one, too. They are quite expensive. They run between $4,000 and $8,000. And but then here's our good friends from FN.
Yes.
They've got one called the Ballista.
Yes.
Now,
we put a picture of this on our Facebook page this morning.
Yes.
This
Tell us about
is
this one.
truly, oh my gosh. Well, right from FN it says for U.S. sales only.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, because and tell them why.
Well, because this much awesomeness can only be contained within this country.
Only in America can you have a gun that cool. Comes in flat, dark earth color, which is the awesome color for guns. I tend to go that way myself. I like it.
This is a
I think it's because it almost sounds like fat. And that's why I go with it, because it's flat. But anyways, comes with a 9-round magazine, doesn't it?
It comes with a 9-round magazine.
Why? Because they couldn't fit 10 in there.
26-inch fluted barrel. Just a truly another work of art from FN.
Yeah.
The guys at FN.
I got it in the catalog. It's just awesome. I might even have it blown up into a poster. Honey, can I hang this on the bedroom wall? No, get out of here. But you're talking a $7,000 price tag on this one.
Yes. Would I rather spend $7,000 on a car or on this rifle?
Small children. I mean, you can think about it. You can do a lot with $7,000. But if you are looking for a tactical rifle, that might be the one. How about you want to spend like a third of that? How about the Remington?
The Remington also makes another one. This is the Model 700 XCR long range rifle.
Now, this is more for guys like us that are wanting to spend some money on an awesome rifle.
Yeah, but it's still okay.
Still a lot of money.
It's still a lot of money. But you know what? People fork this out in a car payment if you get a certain car.
Yeah, it could be the down payment on the BMW. But but it's got a 5-round magazine. But I don't understand why these aren't single shot rifles. I'm telling you, because they are awesome. This one comes in olive drab, 8.5 pounds. The 700 XCR is a great platform. I love these guns. I'm looking forward to getting one in 308 one of these days when the wife releases my rubber band that she pulls me back from the gun shop with. $2,492 is what this one goes for.
It actually weighs 8.5 pounds compared to the 13 pounds of some of the other ones.
So I would imagine it's going to be a little more punishing to the shoulder.
Yeah, you can probably fill that stock with lead.
So
weight
what else?
The whole thing down. Well, and are you a Weatherby fan?
Yep.
Weatherby produces the Mark V AccuMarks in 338 Lapua. 28-inch barrel, which if Weatherby's doing a 28-inch barrel, I'm sure there's a good reason why.
Yeah.
Black Monte Carlo stock with the gray webbing on it, just a classic Weatherby look that's kept them popular for so long. 3-round capacity.
That's enough.
2+1.
That's enough.
And so it does not have the removable magazine.
So
like
this
the
one,
others.
this one isn't a tactical looking gun so much as it still looks like a kind of a big ass sniper rifle. But anyways,
yes.
but it is still a really nice looking rifle.
Adjustable trigger, and what's different from this one than all the others is this one's button rifled.
Well, that's good.
They have different. There is different
lands and grooves. It's
on the Weatherby's than the other ones.
right.
All the other ones have different rifling. The Weatherby has a little bit of a faster rifling with a longer barrel.
Okay. So
then the Weatherby in the Mark V Vacuum Mark is $2,700. Now, they also produce one of their coolest rifles, the Threat Response Rifle in 338 Lapua.
Wow.
Now, I remember looking at this rifle probably 2002 in 308.
Oh yeah, the threat response rifle.
And it is just a really bad to the bone police rifle.
Yep.
In 338 Lapua, 28-inch barrel again, and this gun comes completely hand-tuned from the factory.
Good. Well, it needs
Completely hand-tuned, and the price on this one is $3,000. MSRP.
MSRP. Yep. Well, it's awesome, buddy. Hey, we got to go to commercial break, though. It's that time of the show. Kevin, if you'll take us away, we'll be right back in just a minute.